Good evening, my name is Chase Harris.
And I'm Sydney Mikowski, and this is your Solutions News Team.
Tonight's top stories include solubility, collective properties, and rate of solubility.
Solvents and solutes, electrolytes, and many more.
Our first story of the night is about solutes and solvents. A solvent is a dissolving medium and is the substance in the largest amount. These are generally liquids. Water is known as the universal solvent.
Solutes, on the other hand, is the substance being dissolved in the solvent, and it is usually a solid. The second story of the night includes solubility and the rate at which it is affected. Solubility is the number of particles that dissolve in a given quantity of a solvent at a given temperature, producing a saturated solution.
The rate at which a substance dissolves can be sped up if the temperature is warmer, if the substance is agitated, or if the size of the particles are smaller.
Thank you, Chase, for that enlightening understanding of solubility. Our next story, are you putting the right amount of flavored powder in your drinks? We have invited special guest scientist Matt Eiding to tell our viewers about how to properly saturate their drinks.
There are three types of saturation in solution. First, as I will demonstrate with this crystal light in water, is undersaturation. Undersaturated solutions contain less of a solute than a saturated solution. Diluted solutions are an example of undersaturation. Next, we have a saturated solution, like this Gatorade here. A saturated solution contains the max amount of solute. Finally, we have a crystal light packing in water to demonstrate what a supersaturated solution looks like. A supersaturated solution is when a solution holds more solute than a saturated solution. This is why we can see clumps of powder at the bottom that are unable to dissolve.
Thank you, Dr. Eiding, for being on the show tonight. Next up, are juices too strong for children today? Listen to what one Katie father has to say about it.
Anytime I give my daughter juice, I have to fill the cup with water just to help with the concentration of the juice because it is just too strong for a little child. This
Katie father is explaining the process of dilution. The opposite of dilution is concentration. Molarity is used to measure the concentration of a solution. To find molarity, you divide the moles of the solute by the liters of the solution.
Thanks, Sydney. Get your umbrellas ready, as next we will be checking with Jack, the weatherman, to see what our weather is like today. Today's forecast is mostly sunny and it stays like that throughout the week. All this water around me reminds me of polarity and of solutes and solvents. If a solvent is polar, then it will only dissolve with another polar solute. And if the solvent is nonpolar, it will only dissolve with other nonpolar solutes. Ionic compounds are always polar. However, a covalent compound can be either polar or nonpolar. A covalent compound will never conduct electricity. Water is a polar compound, so if a compound dissolves, and that would mean it is also polar. This is evident with the immiscibility of oil and water. Oil is nonpolar, so it will not dissolve in water. Alcohol, on the other hand, is polar, so it will dissolve in water to form one liquid. Next up, we will check up with the runners in the 10K and how they replenish their bodies after a long run. So, what do you do to replenish your body after a long run like you ran today?
Well, I drink lots of Powerade as it has lots of electrolytes in it.
Can you explain to our viewers what an electrolyte is?
An electrolyte is a substance that breaks into ions when dissolved in a solvent and conducts electricity. Ionic compounds are electrolytes and covalent compounds are non-electrolytes. If an ionic compound is an alkali or alkali earth metal, it is a strong electrolyte.
Thank you. Sydney, back to you in the studio.
Well, thank you, Chase. I think we have all learned more about electrolytes today. Finally, we'll be bringing you all up to date with the three colligative properties: vapor pressure decrease, boiling point increase, and freezing point decrease.
Solvents evaporate most easily when they are pure. If a solute is added, less of the solvent can vaporize.
If fewer molecules of a solvent are at the surface of the sample to vaporize, the boiling point increases.
When a solute physically obstructs a solvent from solidifying, the solute's freezing point decreases.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Come join us tomorrow as we'll be talking about thermochemistry.
You stay classy, fellow chemist.